sovereign energy, sacred boundaries and relational prosperity, quantum opening. A simple, radiant affirmation that orients the heart and the nervous system toward coherence. Your field is a temple, your no is a golden gate, your yes is a holy fire, and your life is the altar where reality learns to shine. Section 1. Deep Gaze, the mythic journey of sovereign energy. Sovereign energy rises when the inner sun remembers its own gravity. It stabilizes the orbit of relationships, finances, projects, and purpose. It does not shout, it hums. It is the soft thunder of a self that knows itself. Imagine a shoreline at dawn. The sea breathes in, the sea breathes out. Every wave knows the edge where it bows and returns. Boundaries are not walls. They are the sacred curve where life greets life. Without that curve, the ocean would forget the beach, and the beach would lose the kiss that shapes it. Sovereignty is not isolation. It is communion with clarity. It is the rhythm of consent that says, I am here, whole, receptive, and discerning. In archetypal language, sovereignty is the king or queen who blesses, the warrior who protects, the magician who transforms, and the lover who connects. When these inner figures cooperate, relationships soften into trust, prosperity loosens into flow, and the nervous system exhales. Think of each interaction as a corridor of light. Your values are the architecture. Your boundaries are the hallways. Your agreements are the doors. Your presence is the candle that allows others to see. When the candle is steady, the whole house feels safe. When the candle flickers, people stumble, not because they are wrong, but because the light has not been anchored. The soul does not negotiate its worth. It radiates, it chooses, it rests, it moves, it keeps its promises to itself. In this sense, sovereignty becomes a devotional art, the art of keeping your own light company. From this center, generosity becomes effortless and discernment becomes kind. You do not split to please, you do not harden to protect. You open and close with the wisdom of seasons. Section 2. Scientific and Psychological Foundations. Transpersonal Psychology. Transpersonal psychology frames the self as a multi-layered field. The ego is an instrument, not the conductor. States of expanded awareness reveal that identity is both local and non-local, the heart in the chest and the ocean behind the heart. In this frame, boundaries are permeable membranes that allow meaning to flow while filtering what misaligns. Healthy permeability supports synchronicity, creative insight, and moral clarity. Sovereignty here equals centered participation, fully engaged with the world, never fused with it. Humanistic psychology. Humanistic psychology honors the innate drive toward self-actualization. Authenticity, unconditional positive regard, and congruence become the nutrients of inner growth. Sacred boundaries are acts of congruence. Every coherent no protects the ecology of the yes. When behavior matches values, the psyche reduces internal conflict, increasing agency, creativity, and the capacity to love without resentment. Nervous system and polyvagal lens. Safety is the gatekeeper of connection. When your system detects safety, it moves into ventral vagal states, curiosity, intimacy, play. When it detects threat, it shifts to sympathetic mobilization or dorsal shutdown. Boundaries are biological rituals of safety. They tell the body-mind, I will not abandon you. Repeated acts of self-protection train the autonomic system to trust your leadership, restoring flexible resilience and clearer relational choices. Neuroplasticity and attention. Neuroplasticity follows attention. Where attention goes, synapses knit. When you repeatedly choose self-alignment, your brain myelinates the path of sovereignty. Over time, you require less effort to embody clarity. This is why brief daily boundary rituals rewire destiny. The brain loves repetition flavored with meaning. Section 3. Biodecoding in action. When the body speaks. The body is a living scripture. Unresolved emotional patterns often translate into muscular armor, breath constriction, hormonal imbalance, or cyclical fatigue. In biodecoding terms, the symptom is a symbolic solution the body invents to protect the system when the psyche feels trapped. Throat tightness may symbolize unspoken truth. The body narrows the passage when speech is chronically postponed. Jaw tension may mirror the inner injunction to bite back the number. Solar plexus heaviness may reflect boundary confusion, the place where self and other blur through guilt or over-responsibility. Lower back pain may signal burdens carried without mutuality. The architecture of support overloaded by silent contracts. Skin eruptions may announce a need for distance or differentiated identity, as if the boundary surface were asking for a voice. Biodecoding does not blame. It deciphers, it listens, it asks the tissue to reveal the truth the tongue could not. When the message is heard, the body can retire the symptom and choose a new solution aligned with consciousness. Liberation Route 1. Name the context where boundary violations or self-abandonment occur. 2. Feel the location in the body where the signal lives. 3rd. Place a hand on that region and offer a new contract in clear, loving language. 4. Rehearse a micro-behavior that enacts the new contract in the smallest safe dose. 5. Seal with breath to anchor autonomic trust. 6. Repeat daily so the body learns the path home. When the body trusts your word, symptoms often soften. The cell listens when the sovereign speaks with tenderness and follow-through. Section 4. Quantum NLP Tools. Step-by-step reprogramming prime directive. The subconscious accepts vivid, emotionally charged instructions delivered in first-person, present tense, sensory-rich language. Link the new belief to somatic cues and environmental anchors, and the shift deepens. Tool 1. Boundary Code Reframe. Trigger awareness. Identify a recurrent scene where you overgive or collapse. Language update. Replace the old script with a concise boundary code. Old: I must say yes to be loved. Code: I honor my rhythm and love expands. Somatic anchor. While stating the code, press thumb and middle finger together on your dominant hand and exhale slowly. Rehearsal. Visualize the scene and watch your embodied self deliver the boundary with warmth. Hear your voice steady. Feel shoulders widen, jaw soften, eyes brighten. Daily loop. 3 rounds morning and night for 21 days. Tool 2. Consent timeline, re-imprinting. Locate a memory where your no was ignored or your yes was coerced. Create a protective mentor archetype beside your younger self. Reenact the scene with mentor support. Your younger self receives full protection, explicit consent, and time. Install a symbol in the memory like a luminous key in the heart. Future pace. Walk that key into a near-future interaction and watch how posture, voice, and choices upgrade. Tool 3. The prosperity boundary loop. Prosperity follows clarity. Money is relational. It respects structures that respect themselves. Define a value boundary for your work or presence. This is my minimum standard of reciprocity. Create a script for negotiation that is kind and firm. This is what the offering includes. This is the investment. This is how we begin. Anchor with environment. Place a symbolic object at your workspace that represents reciprocal flow. A bowl, a stone, a candle. Reinforcement. Phrase. I receive with dignity. I give with design. Tool 4. Micro yes. Golden. No protocol. Micro yes. Accept aligned invitations that require minimal energy but deliver high coherence. Golden no. Decline misaligned invitations with appreciation and a brief alternative if truly appropriate. Timing rule. Answer non-urgent requests after a body check and 1 respiratory cycle of 6 deep breaths. Tracking. Note energizing versus draining outcomes for 2 weeks to calibrate intuition with data. Tool 5. Relational Cleanup Script. Opening. I value this connection and I value my clarity. Truth. Here is what works for me. Here is what does not. Boundary. From now on I will engage under these conditions. Care. I wish you well and I choose coherence. Deliver it with a forward-leaning heart and a spine like a tuning fork. Let your nervous system feel the adult in the room. Section 5. Spiritual Lens and Christic Consciousness. Christic consciousness lives as unity in action. It is the frequency of unconditional love that includes the self in the circle. It blesses boundaries because it understands that love without clarity becomes sentimentality, and clarity without love becomes severity. Christic love is soft strength. It offers the other a trustworthy shape to meet. From a cosmological view, every soul carries a signature sound that the cosmos recognizes. Boundaries tune that note. When you say yes to what aligns and no to what distorts, your signature grows audible. Synchronicities arrive as the orchestra of reality finds your pitch. This is why sovereignty feels like grace. It simplifies. It magnetizes. It enfranchises the future to serve the heart's covenant. Compassion remains the operating system. Sovereignty without compassion freezes into pride. Compassion without sovereignty melts into sacrifice. Christic consciousness braids them into a single river that warms and guides. The result is relational prosperity, reciprocity, mutual uplift, and shared miracles that feel ordinary. Section 6. Integrative Ritual. The Daily Temple of Boundaries. Name: the 4 gates, 1 flame. Duration: 12 minutes. Tools: a candle, a small bowl of water, a stone, a feather or piece of fabric. Sequence: 1. Ground, stone. Stand with feet hip width, 1 hand on the belly, 1 on the heart. Whisper: I stand in my ground. Exhale slowly through the mouth. 2. Flow, water. Dip fingertips, touch temples, collarbones, and wrists. Whisper: I allow what nourishes to enter and what depletes to leave. 3. Breath, feather fabric. Wave the feather lightly around your head and chest. Whisper: my field is clear and loving. 4. Fire, candle. Light the flame. Whisper: my yes is holy fire. My no is golden gate. 5. 4 gates, gesture. North, place palm forward at forehead level. I protect my vision. East, palm open near throat. I protect my voice. South, palm over solar plexus. I protect my power. West, palm over pelvis and lower belly. I protect my creative river. 6. Seal. Bring both hands to heart. Bow slightly and breathe for 4 counts in, 6 counts out. End with: I choose coherence, reciprocity, and peace. Repeat daily for 21 days. The nervous system loves predictable ceremonies. The cosmos loves decisive beauty. Practices and scripts. Ready to use. 5 sovereignty declarations. I keep my promises to myself. I let clarity be tender and firm. I calibrate relationships through reciprocity. I honor my rhythm without apology. I embody wealth as balanced exchange. Somatic reset. During conflict, feet on the floor, tongue soft, eyes in peripheral vision. Exhale longer than inhale. Name 3 sensations, neutral or pleasant. Speak from the body, not the blame. I can continue with a slower pace and clear terms. Prosperity boundary for creative work. Offer: this is the scope and the value. Policy: these are the timelines and revisions. Payment: this is the structure that sustains the work. Closure: this is how we complete and celebrate. Archetypal alignments for daily life. Sovereign: schedules and blesses, sets values and standards. Warrior: protects time, focus, and body, enforces limits with honor. Magician: designs, processes, automations, language, transforms chaos into clarity. Lover: feeds the system with beauty, presence, and gratitude. When one overextends, another steps forward. When one collapses, another steadies the field. This inner council is the original board of directors. Your life is the enterprise of light it governs. Relational prosperity in practice. Relational prosperity begins with clean agreements. Alignment precedes assignment. Write agreements that specify scope, values, timelines, review points, and closure rituals. Celebrate completions as sacred thresholds. Completion builds trust faster than intensity. Use the triangle of reciprocity: energy, effort, presence, creativity, matter, money, resources, logistics, meaning, values, mission, legacy. Prosperity thrives when all 3 circulate. If money flows but meaning starves, resentment grows. If meaning overflows but energy collapses, projects stall. If energy burns but money ignores, generosity turns into debt. Track the triangle weekly and adjust consciously. Repair and renewal. When boundaries break, breakage is feedback, not failure. When a boundary slips, enact the 3 R's. Recognize: here is where I left myself. Repair: here is the new contract and the action I will take. Rehearse: visualize the upgraded scene for 1 minute and anchor with breath. Apology becomes an instrument of dignity. I value you and I value my clarity, so I am updating the way I engage. Clean repair multiplies trust. Scripts for hard moments, declining with care. Thank you for thinking of me. I am not available for this. I wish you success. Price integrity. This is the investment that sustains the quality I offer. When it is aligned, we begin here. Scope creep. This request is outside the original agreement. I can include it with this additional structure. time boundary. I answer messages during these hours. For urgent matters, this is the channel. Emotional containment. I will continue after a pause. Presence matters more than speed. Each line is a tuning fork for the field. Consistency is the song. Breathwork for sovereign presence. Coherent breath. Inhale 5 counts. Exhale 5 to 6 counts. 5 minutes morning and evening. Box breath for decisions. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, 3 rounds before replying. Sovereign sigh, long vocal exhale with a gentle tone, letting the chest fall and pelvis root. The voice convinces the vagus nerve that safety is here. Environmental design space trains behavior. Align your environment with sovereignty. Entrance altar. Stone for ground. Candle for clarity. Bowl for reciprocity. Device limits. Silent windows for deep work. Money corner. Clean ledger. Graceful container for receipts. Gratitude note for each inflow and outflow. Closure ritual. End the day by naming what completed, what continues, and what can be released. Your room becomes a spell that keeps its promise. Ethical wealth. Wealth is a relational force that amplifies character. Sovereign wealth is transparent, reciprocal, and creative. It funds beauty, repairs harm, and extends opportunity. Pricing is not punishment. Pricing is architecture. It holds the shape that makes excellence possible. When you underprice, you teach the field to doubt your vessel. When you price with clarity, you teach the field to respect the craft. Integration stories, symbolic vignettes. The artist of 2 cups. 1 cup was labeled others first, always full. The other was labeled self, always empty. The artist learned to pour into the self cup first each morning. The paint grew brighter. The commissions increased. The friendships deepened. The same hands, new covenant, the healer with the open door. The door welcomed everyone, all hours. Exhaustion became the only god. The healer installed a bell and hours. Care increased in quality. The village learned reverence. The healer's child learned that love also means rest. The entrepreneur of clear rivers. Projects collided like storms. A board of inner archetypes met each Friday. Sovereign set priorities. Warrior protected focus. Magician simplified systems. Lover added beauty. Revenue stabilized. Joy returned. Stories teach the nervous system to recognize itself. Choose one and let it mentor you for a season. Maintenance and mastery. Mastery is maintenance in sacred rhythm. The simplest practices, done steadily, open the widest gates. Keep the breath. Keep the morning promise. Keep the weekly review. Keep the closure ritual. Keep one blessing you never skip. Weekly review. Map. Energy. Where was I vital? Where was I thin? Boundaries, where I kept them, where I drifted. Prosperity triangle, energy, matter, meaning scores. Repair and rehearse, 1 upgrade for the coming week. Gratitude, 3 acknowledgements to anchor abundance. Grace loves rhythm, rhythm invites miracles to land. High vibration closing, master phrase. I keep my light company and my life keeps faith with me. Quantum challenge, next 24 hours. Enact 1 golden no and 1 micro yes. Name the sensation that follows each, and write 1 line that honors your body's message. Place your hand on your heart and say, "This is the sovereignty I live." Activation code, Lux Verum Pax. Whisper 3 times with a slow exhale. Let the spine rise, the shoulders soften, and the eyes brighten. Con amor infinito, Andriu el activador, Quantico.